Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to day 25 of the 60-day or 3-month DAS Trader Challenge. Day 25, we have 2 more days in Sim, Thursday, tomorrow and Friday before we go live on Monday. So today was a good day. We started off and made a little bit of money, about $178, and I said to myself, we're going to stop there, because I'm keeping it real in the sense that the size has to be realistic and the same size as I go live on Monday of next week. But I saw a really good opportunity on fast, which I took. That was one of the weakest stocks I've seen for a long time. I mean, that just went right down. So that made me a bit of money. So these are all my executions for today. We had 42 executions. So as you guys know, I like to have about 6 or 7 trades, 7 maximum. So about 3 or 4 executions per. So about 28, 30 executions is probably my maximum where I want to be each day. I had 42 today, so about 25% more than I would have. So I definitely overtraded today. Now, let me show you how we did. In terms of P&L, Baba was $36. That was a long trade, momentum scalp. Fast was the trade of the day by far. A few shorts on that. NRG long, I lost money on a lot, and NRG short, I lost money on as well. Really couldn't figure out that stock. It's computer driven, as I'll show you guys later on. OCUL was the one out of the gates, low flow momentum. That was nice. PayPal, nice as well, really small size and just low risk. And Twitter was just a nice long, also a scalp. So let's go through them. Let's go through Baba first. Now I traded this twice, once and then twice. Let me get my pencil out. So the first time it was a where are we here? It was a long. Now I got in here a little bit late. At about this $147.88 mark. Now the reason I got in here is because where's the market open? 9:30. This is where the market opened. It just had a lot of strength. Even on the 1-minute candles, it appeared to just be really strong. And I knew that the tech sector was going up, Nvidia was going up. I didn't check AMD, but my overall opinion was that the stock market is not the stock market. That the tech sector is gaining strength and gaining momentum back again, and hence I decided to go long. It was a small position. I think it was where are we? I think it was 100 shares. I didn't add this in, but there was 100 shares. I wouldn't have gone bigger than that, and that was nice. My ultimate target was 148.25. I sold a little bit there, and then just a little bit at break even. That was a decent trade, and then the second one again, I got in as well, a little bit extended. I didn't want to hold through this pullback, so that's why I got out. But the second trade was decent too, and it made me a little bit of money as well. So I think overall Baba was $36. So nothing fancy, but just a nice, solid, easier trade, so to speak. So these were both scalps, so that they worked out really nicely. Then we had, I'll go through fast now. Fast. So we had a few trades on this. We had 1, 2, 3 trades. Now I've written them all down here if you want to pause the video and go through them. Now the key lessons from these guys is that, in my humble opinion, this stock, even though I got in quite early before the 5-minute closed, I just thought and I believed I saw a bit of weakness, which turned into a hell of a lot of weakness. I mean, look at that. That is just tremendous. Now, I didn't take all of that because I got stuck in my third trade where I took way too much size and I got stubborn. And we'll go through in a sec. But the first trade was just a really nice, solid trade. I got in not far away from the VWAP. The risk reward on the first one was about 1.5. Wasn't too bad. I was looking to make 84 cents and risking 56. And that reached my first target, which was this green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average. Now, as I continued seeing weakness, I saw it kind of bump up towards the VWAP, but it couldn't break it. I mean, it wasn't even a breakout. It was just a pullback, if anything. And so I decided to get in here again, and just another really decent trade. I mean, I added to my position here, and I covered in 1 or 2 lots. So once again, just decent trade. I had my round number as my target down here. So even though this had really bad risk reward in the sense that I was risking a fair bit on the upside that I could have lost, and the downside, you know what I mean. The downside, meaning up in this case, was higher than the upside, although it was the opposite direction. So not the best of risk reward. And if you look at the third trade, similar risk reward as well. I mean, okay, 1.5, it's a bit better, but nowhere in any of these trades did I feel that I had a lot of risk reward, but then I also didn't feel that I was getting trapped in any way. It just seemed like I was in the right stock at the right time, and it was going my direction pretty much from the word go. Now, this is what I messed up, and I'm not going to be doing this on Monday. I can't afford to do this. I went to short it again, so I got a little bit greedy. I think I was up $237 here, and my daily target in paper is 300, but in real money it'll be between 50 and 100. So I really should have called it a day, but I got a bit greedy. Now, in hindsight, the weakness was still very high. I mean, this thing just fell down and just really collapsed. So I was doing the right thing, but I was too stubborn. And what I did was I kept adding to my position. So I shorted here, which was 200 shares, which is okay. That's a decent size. I should have left it at that, but I'm sorry, I think this was the first one. The first one I did here, then I added as it went up, 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 and I added as it went up. Not a good risk reward strategy to be adding 5 or 6 times. That means you're out of your comfort zone, and that's not a trade you should be in at all. Now, you see this little green triangle? What this was I was holding, I think, 800 shares, and I was so uncomfortable with the size that I decided just to take a little bit of a loss, just basically to halve my position to 500 or 400, whatever it was. So that's really what that was there for. And then yes, it broke down, and then I covered in 4 places. Now, obviously, hindsight, yes, you know, this thing just went down a lot more, but a good solid trade. I mean, $375 is great, but this has to stop. Can't afford to take this kind of risk. So they're the key takeaways from that. OCUL is next. This was a low float momentum. This was a decent trade. How do we do on that? $45. Not big size. 400 shares. I got in here, expecting it to break to the upside of $6, which is a nice round number that I just saw that was being attracted towards. I didn't see any weakness to show me that was going to break below VWAP. And I got in here maybe a little bit higher, but it wasn't too bad. And I sold in 3 lots. So a decent trade. It was okay. If I can keep doing these, I mean, that's fine. If I can do these 3 times a day, that's $135 or whatever it is. That's me done. I mean, at least for the moment. So, you know, definitely happy with that. Then we had PayPal. PayPal was just 1 short. Got in here a little bit far away from the VWAP. Let me just bring it up. I was risking 18 cents and looking to make 30. So 1.6 RR, not too bad. You want to get at least 2 if you can. Once again, this is a VWAP. It broke below that. I thought I saw weakness coming in. Now, I didn't wait the first 5 minutes. So what I've started doing a little bit as I'm branching out and kind of going out on my own a little bit and experimenting is that I do get into stocks before the first 5 minutes are closed, or before the first 5-minute candle closes, because I sense that there are opportunities there as well, which could be even greater than if we waited 5 minutes. Now, albeit it's a bit more risky because you could get a pullback, but so far it's okay. So I'm going to keep on experimenting with that. So that was PayPal, and then 2 more. Twitter. Now this, I'm actually quite proud of this because this was another scalp. So I'm beginning to scalp just a little bit, just to learn something additional to my kind of armor. And I got in at $19. I think it was $19.06, right? Now my goal, my expectation and thesis was that if it breaks this breakout level, I'm going to get in. Now this was at $18, I think just under 19. So I got in at a decent price. So I can't say this was bad. And this thing just showed quite a bit of strength. And I sold in 3 lots here, and I held just a little bit of what I call a sliver. So I tend to hold maybe 50 shares or I mean, depending on how many I took in the first place. Just a little bit, just to leave it, just to see where it takes me. And sometimes you can get a nice little pop. So this wasn't too bad. Now my ultimate goal was 1950, as that's the round number, and that's what it was squeezing towards, and it got really close, 1945, but it couldn't quite get there. But Twitter was what, $81. So even if I had taken OCUL and Twitter, that would have been me for the day, $126 or thereabouts. That would have been great if I keep doing that every day. And the last trade was NRG. Now this is a trade where you can see computers at work, and Andrew mentioned this as well, which is really nice of him to teach us these things. A lot of volume, right? Almost 1 million shares, and check out the range this is stuck in. It's like between 1950 and about 1930, the 20-cent range, and it's not doing a lot. It's not going anywhere. It's not breaking down, so you can't short it, and it's not going up, so you can't long it. You can't really do anything with this kind of a trade. So you want to stay away from this. But obviously, I didn't know that at the time. And I tried shorting it, and I got squeezed out, and I covered for a loss of, I think it was $166 loss. And then I went long thinking, okay, it's showing a bit of strength, seems to be holding the VWAP, and bang, let's see if it can reach $20, which would have been definitely feasible because it's not far away and it's a round number and it's a psychological number. But alas, just didn't get there. I added to my position and I got out for a big loss of $117. So that was it for me for today. Overall, a decent day. I've got 2 more days left, which I'm going to focus on keeping it real in the sense of size and managing risk. And apart from that, that's it. Hopefully you guys can stick around and watch me as I go live. I expect to be going live on Monday, but it could be a little bit later in the week because I do need to get access to DAS, which is a different version of DAS than I have at the moment, which is the simulator. And I don't know how long that'll take me to do. Plus, I need to link that to my IB account, so it might take a little bit. But look, even if it's not next week and the week after, if it takes all week to get it ready, that's fine. But my mind is already on going live, and that's what I'm going to be aiming for. So it's 12 in the afternoon. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Cheers.